Sheets. Hope everybody had a good weekend. This week we have all kinds of stuff going on. We have the NBA, and I think we get into the NBA All-Star Game a little later on in the week, or maybe next week. I'm not sure. Let me just see that. When is NBA All-Star Game? Is the February 18th. Okay, so oh, you know what? I have to pause you guys for just a second. I have to take this. Sorry. Hello. Hey, what's going on? Okay, sorry about that. Believe it or not, there was something I had to take that was more important than this. How could anything be more important than this? Who knows? But, all right, so we have the All-Star Game is the 18th, so I guess we only have a couple of slates, right, until they go to an All-Star break, and I'm sure that a couple of guys are going to be sitting out for the All-Star Game, so they make sure to play in it, which is annoying, but that is what it is. And there's that. There's Daytona, which is coming up this weekend, which is they're paying a lot for first. I happen to think that whatever. I don't want to get on his whatever, but I'm gonna do the live thing I think with Brandon. But I hate Daytona for a sweat because you have no idea how you're doing until like the very end. I mean, you have to wait till the big last crash to figure it out. But nonetheless, I'll be playing obviously. All right, so let's just get right into it. Again, the early look for the NBA is sort of irrelevant, but it is. Listen, it's a good idea to get a sense for what the slate is going to look like. Let's, I guess, go game by game and see what it looks like, and then we'll go ahead and pull up the sheets. I'm looking overall at the value here, and you're getting a couple of things, at least right now. We'll get to them, I guess, in kind of later games. But actually, right off the bat, you have some weird. So funny. You disappear for like a couple of days, and then you come back and you get Trey Mann as a play. I don't even know where that came from. But nonetheless, he's showing up as a pretty good point per dollar play, almost 6x. So he's going to be probably one of the talks of the town at 7 o'clock. And then see Miles Turner showing up. Now, interesting to note is that there are a bunch of questionables here, right? So Halliburton questionable, who knows? I mean, if he's out, then we could talk about, you know, TJ McConnell at 4,200 is going to be a stone lock if what's his name is out, right? I mean, isn't he a good play anyway? 4,200? Does he stop playing? You show me one game where 4,200 isn't okay. I mean, this is a ridiculous price. Even if everybody's in, I mean, he's going to play, right? Yeah, I figured. Why am I not projecting him? I don't know. Maybe I'm terrible. Let's see. I currently have a projection of him 21 points and 4% ownership. That is a lie. There's no possible way that's the case. Pricing mistake. It's like a projection mistake. Who has him at these numbers? Hold on, let me see that. Let me get more into this just for the hell of it. How is am I hallucinating? And everybody's got him at the same stupid 20 fantasy points at 1%, 2%, 6% ownership. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we're gonna listen. We did this last week with the Walker Kessler. We took a stand against the entire industry, and sort of right. Wasn't exactly right, but we're gonna do it today. This is ridiculous. I almost want. I do want Halliburton to play. If Halliburton doesn't play, and McConnell starts, he will literally be 85% owned. No? We'll see. What else on Charlotte? Who? Wait a minute. There's another guy that I'm seeing here. What happened in the last weekend that I'm getting? Oh, all these trades, I guess. So now they have Grant Williams. He's a thing. And who is this? We got to pronounce this one right. Hold on. I should give like a free something if you pronounce this one right. Vasiliji Michik. Who? Oh, guy with the random. Okay, I knew this was going to happen. Just some guy that exploded out of nowhere. Where'd that come from? Oh, because he was traded, and then he went off the bench. This is the new thing. Vasiliji Michik. Okay, it's like a whole new season after the trade deadline. Look at this, all these guys. Let's go. All right, Philly, Cleveland. Is Embiid still on the team? He is, but he's hurt, right? Everybody's still on these teams? It looks that way. I'm not getting too much of anybody here. Jared Allen at 7,200 maybe. So okay, Eric. Good point. So now so it's basically binary for McConnell. Like he's either 90% owned or he's a terrible play. Like if Halliburton's out, he's 90% owned starting. And if he doesn't, and if he plays, he might play 30 minutes, then he's totally out of play. What about the Neimark at 4,300? 34 minutes in his last start? Is that real? I mean, he's not exactly the best fantasy producer, but hell. Charlotte is like the worst, remember? Well, we're going to play the Mitchick, like Grant Williams, McConnell combination. Oh, this is great. Let me see. What did Halliburton do in his last game? Yeah, he did get up to 30, didn't he? Well, so he hasn't missed a game yet. So he's playing. All right. So we'll give me some restrictions. I like that. All right. So Philly, Cleveland, we're not playing anybody. Fair enough. All right. Let's San Antonio, Toronto. Now we're getting back to Wemby season, right? Let's see. What's he been doing? Ooh, it's not so easy with your 29. What do they say about baseball? The pitcher, second time through the league, second time through the rotation. Getting Wembanyama, maybe. What kind of game is this? What is this game where he had one rebound? I don't understand. Was like Tim Duncan and David Robinson back? That has to be the case. We got to check this out. I'm pretty sure that David Robinson and Tim Duncan were back for this game. I can't see any other reason why he would get literally one rebound in 23 minutes. But then he followed that up with a crisp 4 rebounds. I don't understand. Are they telling him they don't want him rebounding anymore? He's 7 foot 100. Well, he's showing up as a good play, but boy, oh boy, I mean, I don't know. Scotty Barnes. Yeah, he's going to be like that? Is that the deal with Wemby? What are you saying here, Dwayne? Gafford? They fade a big star. What else is going on here? So, what else from San Antonio? Nothing. Nothing else, right? Except for you can play Vassell, I suppose. See Vassell getting like 20% ownership. So I guess Wembanyama's fine. Scotty Barnes, no, not really. Barnes quickly, just okay. How about Chicago, Atlanta? Okay, so you have DeRozan and Vooch. I mean, they both stayed on the team somehow. And these guys look pretty good today, actually. DeRozan and Vooch. Vooch was obviously my hero the other day. And he had a good game in overtime yesterday or Saturday, I think. Was it yesterday? I forget. But they obviously have a good matchup. So DeRozan at 7,600 looks very reasonable. And Vooch. And Kobe White, by the way. You could be right, Neil. Is Kobe White in? He's probable. Why bother? Why bother with that? So Kobe White, Grant Williams, Mitchich, man. All these, I mean, but DeRozan looks good, Vooch looks good, White looks good. Again, this is all, we're all gonna have to see who's actually playing and who's starting and all the late news. This is early look nonsense. But we'll do an early build to see what we got here. But I imagine that the Chicago guy's going to be in play against Atlanta, who hasn't guarded anybody since the Eisenhower administration. DeJounte Murray, 7,700, I guess. Trey will be low owned. That's good. But I think just the Chicago side is really what I'd be interested in here. I like that we're saving money because I think we're going to get to these. I think we're going to want to play one of these guys in this, one of these studs, either Luka later or Jokic or Giannis. So I think it's good that we're finding some value to play. All right, New Orleans against Memphis. No. Jaren Jackson, 8,300. It was weird that random whatchamacallit game. Remember the CJ McCollum game where he just projected really well for some reason, and then he just, I don't know, just didn't do enough. It was a weird projection. It was like a weird game from like a DFS perspective. It was like a weird, you know what I mean? Like the whole day he was supposed to be a great play, and then Zion not only played but smashed. Anyway. Nothing particularly good in this game as I'm seeing. Just to show you what I'm looking at here, right? So I'm sorting these guys all by point per dollar, and there's not anybody from this game that's like literally showing up at all. So they're just not going to be good. That's just the best I can describe it. No, Adrian, I don't do the exact. I do the exact same. I really do. And I just go. I mean, I usually play DraftKings, but I'll play FanDuel sometimes too. I have heard that DraftKings is harder, whatever that means. But as far as my approach goes, it's the same. All right, so New Orleans, Memphis, no, nothing. Boy, look at all these games. I'm getting all this value late too, so this is going to be interesting. So Denver against Milwaukee, I presume that Giannis is playing. Middleton is out. Porter is probable. I think one of these studs is probably worth grabbing. And I don't really have much of a preference which one. Well, I'm including Luka in this mix too. So between like Luka, and we'll get to him, but Luka, Jokic, Giannis, I mean, you have enough value to get there. So I think you should probably get there. And I don't really have too much of an opinion between these two. I have Jokic maybe a little bit better, actually. So I do have Jokic a little bit better. And I imagine he'll be higher owned as a result. But I think either of these guys are really, really good. And I'm not getting to any of the values here, I don't think. I mean, I'll do a build after this just for funsies, but I'm not getting any of these other ancillary pieces. Knicks at Houston, two kind of sneaky, slow teams. So Sengun got like benched, right? Yeah, I think he got benched. Or did he just not play? I guess he just didn't play. Because Jeff Green came in. Yeah, and he had a big game. Okay. But I definitely think this game is an under. Let's say it's going to be low scoring. I don't know what the over-under is. But these two teams are both very slow. I don't think I'll be getting much of anything from this game at all. I mean, if I sneak, a couple lineups in here and there, maybe. I mean, maybe you get Sengun off the rest. It's worth doing. But you know what we are going to do? presuming all these guys remain out, specifically Anunoby and Randall, we're going to go right back to our old reliable. And for those of you that forget what that is, that we're going over 8.5 Josh Hart rebounds, which is now 5 for 5 since we started betting them. And it has not gone up even to 9.5. I mean, I'm gonna do 9.5 also. So let's go do this live again. As long as Anunoby and Randall remain out, we're gonna keep doing this. I gotta go verify this. Hold on a second. Okay. So let's go to the rebounding props. Again, just take our free money, I guess. It's going to lose eventually, right? Or they're going to put it to 10.5, but let's see. Josh Hart, 8.5. Let's go. Whee! Free money. Free money Thursday. Okay. Let's go back into here. Aside from that, we have nothing from this game. Washington at Dallas. As I mentioned before, Luka, strong play, definitely some blowout risk, where the Milwaukee-Denver game did not. So that is Luka definitely has the better projection, but the blowout risk is definitely real. So he's probable. I think there was a value play on Washington that I had. Let's just see. No, I thought there was. I mean, Kuzma, you could always play him, but I thought I saw some. Yeah. There were a couple, actually. All right, so following guys all look pretty good. Marvin Bagley at 5,300. Tyus Jones. Wow. At 5,800. And Avdia. So this could actually be, well, I was about to say this could be a stack. I would include Kuzma, though, if you were going to stack this game, because this, I think that for this to be close, I think Kuzma really does have to put on a good game. So if you want to play Kuzma with one of these other guys, or even two of them with Luka on the other side, I definitely think that that's reasonable. So that's something from that game. And then, if you didn't like any of that, you have in the last game 3 of the 4 top values and 4 of the top 10 values are all from this last game, believe it or not. And those would be, in no particular order, the aforementioned Walker Kessler, the oft misunderstood Chris Dunn, the oft chalk Keontae George, and on the other side, the oft ejected Draymond Green. So, all of these guys look to be very, very strong values, and all more justification why you can get up to the studs, whether it be Luka or Giannis or Jokic. Now, I'm seeing Dell is mentioning that Crowder is showing up as a good play on FanDuel. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if that shows up in my sheets at least. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not getting him. So, I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, he's showing up not only as a close to 5x play, but yeah, I'm seeing like 35% owned on Saber Sim or whatever. Yeah, so I guess because of his small forward eligibility at 4,600, I guess that's making some sense. I'm not getting. I don't think I'm going to get too much to him on DraftKings though. So here you're asking if Dame is questionable. Well, looks that way, huh? Nice, probable. So he looks good to go. So it looks to be a pretty straightforward type slate in that. I mean, you get values from this Golden State game. You get Luka and some medium values from Washington. You get a stud from Denver, Milwaukee. Pass there. Maybe some DeRozan here. I would pass the San Antonio thing. Pass Philadelphia, Cleveland, and those Charlotte, Indiana dudes. And the good thing about the TJ McConnell is that we'll have that news before lock, presumably. It is the first game. So let's get in here and do a build and see what we get. I'll build 50, see what we get. And I imagine, I don't even know what I'm getting, what I would get actually. That's a good point, Neil. If Dame is in, I don't think that well, yeah, I don't know, but if he starts at 4,200 or whatever on FanDuel. All strength. Should we account for points or time played? I'm just the guy that just relies on the projections as far as that goes. And look at a little coach speak to see if guy might want to sit or whatever. But aside from that, I don't really put too much stock in it. All right, so when you do the straight Saber Sim build, you'll be getting the guys I mentioned. I mean, what can I tell you? Keontae George, Draymond Green, DeRozan, Trey Mann, Avdia. Well, get a little more Vassell than I thought, but you'll notice that I'm getting 45% Luka and almost zero of the other studs. So again, you think about it. What does that mean? What that means is that if I'm getting them to them, then probably other people are too. Which means that if you could probably get Giannis and or Jokic as pretty good pivots off of Luka. And that definitely makes some sense. So again, to show you what it would look like, what I'd like to do is build my dummy lineups, which I did earlier, and then run an early contest sim with them. Let's take a look. Let's the Micro Millions opener. Do I have to play 150 of this thing? Ugh, that's the big sucker play, isn't it? It's only $4. I guess. I got to play 150 just because it's freaking. Although I would have played 50 if it was $15. So it's pretty much the same thing. All right. Anyway, we're going to add this as a contest sim at least. We're going to add them all actually, just so we have the settings saved. Let's see what's going on in this LEC thing. Mad Lions totally smashed in the first game. Let's see what's going on in the second. Let's see. Second game's a little closer, but Mad is still ahead. Yeah, so if you guys didn't check it out, if you have any interest at all in League of Legends or whatever, we go over some other stuff that's applicable to other sports too. I did an interview with some pretty cool dude who knows more about League of Legends than everybody in this chat put together, including myself, especially myself. All right, so let's see. Shock Blast. Why do I have Shock Blast in here? What is this? What? That is so weird. Who's out? I don't know what this is. Yeah, the contest sims are not working today so far. So we're just going to keep this as is. So we let's up. Oh my God, it's so funny. Keep these lineups in. Yeah, I guess I have to. So I guess okay. So what are the lessons? The lessons are that I think it's probably a good idea to play Luka or Giannis or Jokic, because you're going to be able to get to Luka pretty easily. So I think his ownership is going to be much higher than those two. So I think that's probably a pretty good idea, because again, he's got the Luka's got more blowout risks than those other two. I guess that is the lesson. Other than that, we have to, gotta wait to see what happens later. See what's going on with this LEC thing. Car windshield, Sunbrand umbrella, only $25.28. That's cool, right? Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Bobby, whoa, look at all this. Oh, they're judging to see if there was an illegal pause or something. Yeah, so Bobby he had a tough life. I think he was at the Waste Management Open. He might have been at the Super Bowl too. Who the hell knows? But he'll be back, not tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. Listen. I would love to take down that freaking Daytona race, just because it's so much money and it's so freaking random. But listen, we will talk about how to play that. Obviously, Brandon's going to lead that discussion, to say the least. I got a couple ideas though. I got a couple of nuggets. We'll see. And I guess that's going to do it. I will see you guys at 6. And